What's up everyone and welcome back to Nexus. By far one of the most annoying things in this world are rich kids who are just ungrateful for what they have. The type who don't have a clue what it means to be poor and cherish every one of your hard-earned possessions. They throw tantrums, break their stuff, swear at their parents, do everything a kid isn't supposed to do, and the internet consistently loves it. So watch this video to find out the top 10 most spoiled kids that'll make you angry. Number 10. This first girl in our video is so spoiled that as well as making it to television when MTV heard about her antics, she was also such a bad example of a spoiled brat that the satirical show The Soup got a hold of her clip on Super Sweet 16 and had Joe McHale rip into it. This girl's name is Audrey. She had a fully televised meltdown because her mother got her a Lexus, which is basically child abuse, obviously. Or you'd think so based on her reaction. She ends up screaming and throwing a fit in school in front of all of her friends when her mom walks out and shows her the car. All because she didn't want her car yet. And also it was apparently the wrong car anyways. So she decides to do the only logical thing and cancel her entire party because it's totally ruined. Since this clip is from 2007, hopefully she's learned to be grateful for everything she has in the last 10 years.
What the hell? I don't want my car now! Mom got me my car now! I told her not to get it. I wanted to do my party. I didn't want the car. That's not even the car I even wanted. She's such an idiot. She just ruined the whole party. Everything. She just ruined everything. Party's off. Listen, you ruined my life. I hate you. We're leaving. The party's off.
I'm taking Audrey's side on this one. Her mom's a bitch and did ruin the party.
Number 9. Now we're cutting to a clip that is basically like Punk'd, but with a slightly more satirical edge to it. I have to be upfront and tell you that this video is partially fake because it comes from a prank show. And while we may know from the outset that the little girl is a 10-year-old actor called Ava, the people in the store don't know this and get angry with her just like she were a real brat, which serves for some funny results. It's a lucky thing that the shop attendant is an actor as well, because I'm pretty sure more retail clerks would have kicked this kid out of the store after some of the stuff Ava says about everything in the place being trash, throwing merchandise on the floor and having a temper tantrum. The whole thing was designed to see if people really do let these rich kids get away with whatever they want, and it turns out that people do speak up when they see something outrageous going on.
I just want cute clothes. No one's gonna get me cute clothes.
But then she's finally had enough.
Because you're throwing things around like a little brat.
We have money. We need to spend it.
Money is gonna make you have a miserable life.
Well, I need cute clothes.
We can have mom come out and say, were you yelling at my daughter?
Were you yelling at my daughter?
Yeah, I was. Because someone needs to discipline her. Yes. She's acting ridiculous.
But now she's about to learn where Ava gets all that attitude.
Number 8. Already you know something is totally whack when the girl begins by saying, "This is the phone I wanted," and holds up a fancy phone, and then says, "And this is the one I got," and holds up another fancy phone in a different color, because anyone can see that she did in fact get 2 phones. She goes on to say how devastated she is that her MacBook got broken, which is fair enough until you take note of the fact that she has 4 MacBooks and she broke it herself. Apparently one computer is for sending messages, one is for receiving messages, one is for blocking messages, and the last one is for leaving messages on things. And the one that's broken just has a couple scratches and 1 missing key. She then says she needs people to send her money to buy a new MacBook because they have medical bills and can't afford to buy one. Medical bills because of the injuries sustained while breaking her computer. If it wasn't for the fact you see both phones and all 4 of the MacBooks in front of her, I'd say it was fake. Unfortunately, I don't think it is.
So I really need a new MacBook or money to fix this one, and we can't afford it right now because we're really financially struggling from medical bills because I sustained an injury while I was beating up my laptop. So this one right here, band-aids on it and everything. Yeah, if you guys could donate to me to get a new MacBook or to fix this one, then that would be a lot of help because I really do need all of these MacBooks, and it isn't my fault that I broke my laptop.
Number 7. So this kid is clearly the inspiration for the movie Boss Baby that came out a few months ago, because this little boy seems to think he's some sort of bigwig CEO. I guess this is a clip from Super Nanny or some recreation of the Super Nanny formula, as the woman Joy is there to help this boy learn to behave. But he doesn't want to behave. He starts throwing a tantrum when she decides to clear out the fridge and replace everything in it with healthier foods for a growing boy. And he starts arguing with her about the bacon when she throws it out, saying that bacon isn't good for him, when realistically bacon isn't good for anyone. It just tastes nice. He storms off to his room and starts doing a talking head to the camera saying that the nanny thinks she's the queen. And this is where it gets funny, because he literally picks up a suitcase and starts packing his stuff into it, and ends up marching out of the front door saying he's not coming back until she leaves. We see him walking off down the street on his own, and then the video ends.
I promise you one thing, okay? If you do not have at least one food that you like, I will buy you a piece of junk. Is that a deal?
No, I keep losing at deals, and I don't want to make a deal anymore. I am leaving, and you can't stop me. I'm packing my bags. And a very, very calm day until this. A bump in the road comes, and she's be sarcastic.
Curtis.
I won't be coming back until Saturday when you leave. She's gonna start.
Number 6. This is one of the weirdest things I've ever seen, as we take a day to see into the life of Alicia Gustafaro, who seems to think herself as a pint-sized Paris Hilton. I can hardly believe it's real to watch. They even keep a Christmas tree up all year round because it's Christmas every day for Alicia. There's even a bit in this clip where she refuses to eat her breakfast and tells her mom that it's not your best cereal. Like, seriously? It's cereal. How can you make cereal badly? I have no idea, but Karen, her mom, apparently did. Karen also does all of Alicia's school projects for her because Alicia doesn't have time with her busy schedule, and because of this, she unfairly gets super high grades all the time. Luckily, this is a clip from an episode of Wife Swap, so an uber strict Christian mother from another family eventually comes and puts Alicia in her place. Thank God.
The world peace. That might sound a little corny, but it is the truth.
Alicia just has the sparkle. Pageants for Alicia has started when she was 11 months old, doing local pageants, and for the past 6-7 years doing national pageants.
I definitely think pageants define me as a person. I don't care what other people say. Appearance is everything in this world.
This is a dynamite picture. It blows the judges away.
I do feel sorry for people that are not gorgeous people.
You have to sparkle.
If you don't have the best clothes, the best hair and makeup, and the best tan, you're not going to win the pageant.
Number 5. Sherilyn is just a normal 19-year-old girl. She worries about going to school, what her friends think of her, and about the $25,000 of debt she has on her 17 different credit cards. So just typical teenage angst. Of course, Sherilyn says that the $130,000 total she has spent isn't her fault at all. It's all because of her lazy, moody, and mean mother, Joey. It's no wonder this clip is from an episode of Dr. Phil. She gets asked at one point if she respects any of the sacrifices her mom made for her, and she says no. She's even so deep in debt with all her maxed out cards that she started stealing and pawning family heirlooms in an attempt to pay the bills she usually just throws away. This girl seriously just needs to be cut off. Make her get a job and try to live on her own to appreciate the value of $1.
How many brushes do you have here?
About 110.
And how many of these brushes do you actually use?
Probably about 10 or 15 brushes.
Do you think that you're spoiled?
I think I'm spoiled.
Do you blame your mom for that?
I mean, I blame her because growing up, I didn't have to do anything. I didn't have to clean my room, didn't have to do my laundry, I didn't have any chores, I was never disciplined.
Do you appreciate any of the sacrifices that your mom made for you?
No.
You don't?
No.
You have makeup here, makeup there, you have nail polishes, and you have...
Number 4. I'm not really sure about what the context for this clip is, but I think it was some sort of reading competition, and maybe the kid who read the most books won a scooter. That, or it was a random draw. But I'm sure they do mention reading at some point while the principal talks about how happy she is doing her job. Obviously though, this isn't enough for one little girl, who stands up in the middle of the award assembly and starts yelling that she wanted a scooter. The principal at the front says she's sorry that they couldn't give a scooter to every kid. But it seems like the kids are being sore losers because they all got tricked into having to read books just for the chance of getting something cool. But it does seem like a lot of them did get prizes, so I guess Lauren was just being super ungrateful.
This job, you're the only school I've had as a principal. I've been assistant principal, I've been a literacy coach, I've been a first grade teacher. Lauren, it's okay. I've been a fourth grade teacher, I've been a second grade teacher.
I want a scooter!
I'm sorry everybody couldn't get a scooter. That's the hardest part when you boys and girls are reading, but you have received your prizes.
Number 3. Out of everyone in this video, I think that the person I feel worse for is the girl's brother, Brian, who gets forced to film this entire catastrophe. Clearly though, he knows he's filming internet gold because he keeps lying and saying the camera has been turned off when it hasn't. The parents led their daughter Mackenzie out of the house to show her this red sports car, and she immediately starts screaming that it's red and all she ever wanted was a blue car, even though her dad keeps trying to tell her how hard it was to even get a red model of this particular car. Her brother tries to help, but he gets told to be quiet, even suggesting they just get it repainted, which is the only sensible thing anyone in this video has to say. Eventually, Mackenzie gets so sick of her brother, she marches over to him and starts trying to hit him.
Happy birthday!
No way.
Happy birthday!
It's red.
Yeah, you don't know how
Dad,
hard
it's
this
the wrong
was
color.
to get, sweetheart.
Dad, it's red.
Mackenzie, it's
I
fine.
asked you a million billion times I wanted a blue car, Dad.
Come on, Mackenzie.
Can you believe it? For a blue car, man?
Brian, stop filming.
But,
okay?
oh, Dad, it's off.
Please, please, look, just try it, okay?
Mackenzie, it's not that bad.
Number 2. This kid gets so worked up that I think he believes his own tall tales about what happened on an airplane flight between him and his mother. It seems like they had an argument about her having the volume on something too loud, and he kept elbowing her. And then he refused to be quiet and behave himself when told, and she eventually elbowed him back. Since this clip is of them arguing about it on Dr. Phil afterwards, it's impossible to say how hard she did elbow him. But I doubt it's as hard as he's implying. He starts yelling that she has no right to tell him to be quiet or control his body, and then shouts at her to shut up. And things get crazy because he slaps her around the face and tells her to listen to him because it's his turn to speak.
When a teacher says something, she's the boss of you and you
Shut
need to listen.
up! Give me a turn to speak! Fine, see? You do that to me. How does it feel? How does it feel to be told to shut up?
We've talked about it.
Let me speak. How does that feel? How does that feel?
Do not put your hands on me. Do you understand me?
Do you understand me?
No, I asked you a question.
You know what? Shut up!
Number 1. If you thought the scariest thing about Chuck E. Cheese was the animatronic animal bands, you were wrong. Because the events of this last video all take place in a Chuck E. Cheese with one incredibly naughty kid climbing across all the rides and yelling and pushing into lines. He even climbs inside the basketball game in the arcade and starts throwing in balls that way. And it gets a little funny when people start throwing balls at the kid, which serves him right. He even starts spitting at the people who are trying to get him out of the place when security gets called, and they cannot find his parents for the entire duration of the video. Hopefully they saw the footage eventually and disciplined him.
Son, boy need ADD.
No, he is violent,
Yo, nobody, they gotta get him. Uh-oh.
That was our list of the top 10 most spoiled kids that'll make you angry. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit subscribe so you never miss a video in the future. And hit the like button too so we can hit the golden like of 1,000. Thanks for watching, guys. Peace!